because of brothers like Larry Hoover and others behind them walls, they made Democrats and Republicans come together and pass a law that they signed. The fact of the matter of fairness is what we screaming for. Redemption is what we screaming for. Humanity is what we screaming for. Not this nonsense. It's the encompassing of everything. So I'm saying this is what you do. You share this. It was 9 people that got convicted with Larry Hoover. In the name of fairness of the system, 6 of them are free because of fairness in the system. That's what this is about. Fairness in the system, redemption. We know Biden was the one that sponsored the 1994 crime bill.
Yeah, we know it.
Because of redemption.
Come on now, say that.
We redeemed him and we elected him. So Larry is in charge, should have that same redemption. What we talking about here. And I'm saying this, when I see his son, when I see his grandson, when I see his wife, when I see Larry Hoover Jr.'s wife, when I see what Larry Hoover said in the resurrection, he spoke about this day that we standing here today.
Yes, sir.
I don't talk to him from 97 until 2014, saying the same thing.
Yes, sir.
What we standing on. And hey, he's no longer the chief of gangster disciples.
Yes, sir.
He's no longer a chairman. He's a human being that demand redemption and fairness. That's what we're screaming about, and it can happen.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying this, everybody got a right to run for whatever office they want to run for. But understand this, if you get elected, you just become a freshman and you have no power.
That's right. Say that, say
You have no power. Those blacks that's in office went through hell and high water and had to get seniority. And I'm saying this, and I'm glad I'm wise to record what I've said. Because in 1995, I spoke by realness, but I didn't understand the power of editing. And when I see Larry Hoover Jr.'s son tell me because of the history that he listened to and learned, and said, Gator, you could have been mayor if you don't say that you was a gangster disciple.
Come on. Come on.
This is facts that we live in.
Come on.
This is what we talking about.
Come on.
He's 13 years old.
Yes, sir.
I got a great-grandson that's 13 years old. And it's imperative for my great-grandson to meet Larry Hoover's grandson so they never become enemies. That's what we own. So, if you want to talk what's real, start with letting them know in your community that any individual that ain't about the code that means zero tolerance for senseless shootings and killings, zero tolerance for the rape of women and children, zero tolerance for the abuse and the robbery of elders, then you ain't saying nothing. It starts there. And I want to say to God be the glory. Name was Gator Barely, and that's my story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Gator. Thank you. We're going to bring our next sister up to the stage, Albany. Make some noise.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to hope to get through this. I'm representing my org. My name is Albany Trotter, and I'm an organizer within the Chicago Alliance Against Racist Political Repression. And once again, it is with great pleasure and honor that I am delivering this speech on behalf of my org, Harper. Harper started 44 years ago with the Free Angela Davis movement. We know why we're all here today, under circumstances that should have never been possible in the first place. a 17-year-old black boy, Laquan McDonald, had his life taken away from him with 16 shots through his body, with a dirty cop, Jason Van Dyke, that is now trying to act as though if he is some sort of political prisoner. Not only does this city have a history of defiling and destroying our men and women, this land is a settler colonial project. As our indigenous brothers and sisters are still forced on reservations, death camps.
That part.
We also have the CPD, which it has relations to slave patrols that do what they always do to us: oppress us, take our children away before they ever had a chance of living a life of legacy of their own accord. Not only that, but now we have Rahm Emanuel with the nerve and zero remorse of trying to act as though he's done anything good for this city, deserves praise, recognition, or any reward. How deplorable, how despicable it is to think that he should represent anything as an international ambassador to Japan. It is not only a slap in the face to the black community as a whole, but all to oppressed nations worldwide. Rahm Emanuel is not only racist to black and brown people in Chicago, but he's a Zionist that has helped support the oppression of the Palestinians as they fight for their right for self-determination on their land, as they are bombed and forced to face an ongoing genocide. Let us not forget that Rahm Emanuel's father served in a terrorist organization that targeted British and Palestinian civilians. Let us not forget that Boeing's headquarters have been in Chicago since 2001. While he has not initiated the contract, he has not questioned nor ended it. Boeing is one of the top 5 war profiteers and one of Israel's biggest investors. They use those same weapons that they use those same weapons that Boeing helped to manufacture to kill Palestinian children daily and Gaza on stolen land that has been ongoing for decades. Rahm Emanuel closed down mental health facilities in black and brown communities in Chicago to save the city $3 million, which he nearly paid the same amount to Boeing just so they can have their fancy big building downtown. Make no mistake, these economic connections are real. This is why, to our movement for our community control of the police, we fought Rahm Emanuel, and when it was exposed that he covered up the murder video, we campaigned to ensure that the killer cop, Jason Van Dyke, was indicted and convicted. We led rallies and at the courthouse from the start of the trial, and then brought 500 to march down on the day of the conviction. We fought on today after we won 36 members of the City Council to vote for the Empowering Communities for Public Safety Ordinance. We are now campaigning to help establish an intern commission that will have a policy making power, as well as the appointment of a COPA head. Next, we'll push for the referendum for direct elections of that commission and prepare for elections to the council in each of the 22 police districts to empower our community, to hold CBD accountable, and to enact alternatives to police involvement and mental health crises and other areas. All power to the people.
Thank you, sister.